Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to Commerce online classes. So in the last class we discussed about planned accumulation and decumulation of inventories, meaning of inventory and planned and unplanned accumulation. Let us discuss about externalities. It is a new concept for you. What is externalities? So, externality is nothing but students, it is the advantages or disadvantages arising out of large scale of production. Advantages or disadvantages arising while producing the goods and services are said to be the externalities. Thus, externalities are nothing but external factors. External factors which affects on the production are said to be the externalities. Thus, in economics, so here what is externality means? Unintentional consequences of economic actions. Unintentional consequences. Externality means unintentional consequences. Unintentional consequences of economic action. Economic actions are nothing but economic functions, production, consumption, distribution, exchange, while all the economic activities together called as economic actions. So, externalities are nothing but unintentional consequences of economic action by an individual or by a firm. It is not only by the firm, it can be by the individual or it can be by any other production units are said to be the externalities. Let us see what are the types of these externalities. There are two types of externalities, external factors or unintentional, means without intentionally making some damages for the some society or economy. So, unknowingly it is because of while carrying out large scale of production something harms happens or some positive things happens to the society, that is called unintentional consequences of economic action of an individual or a firm is called externalities. There are two types of these unintentional consequences of economic action of an individual or firm. They are, first one, positive externalities. Positive externalities. Second one, negative externalities. Positive externalities and negative externalities. So, there are two types of externalities I said. First one is positive externalities. What is the positive externalities? It is also said to be the advantages from the large scale of production. What are the advantages from the economic actions? Means economic actions means economic functions, production, consumption, distribution, exchange taking place in the economy. While carrying out these functions, some positive externalities are there. Some positive impact on the economy is there. What are those positive externalities means? For example, advantages from the large scale of production said to be the positive externality. Disadvantage from the large scale of production said to be the negative externalities. Means merits and demerits from the large scale of production. What are the harmful to the society and what are the benefits to the society, that is together called as positive and negative externalities. For example, suppose construction of roads. construction of roads. It is a positive externalities in case of society. It will helpful for movement of the people or movement of the any kind of goods and services, transfer goods from one place to other place, communication purpose, it will be helpful. So, we can consider it as a positive externality because land behind the roads will get the more values in future. It may be the positive externalities, but it not be free from the other demerits, that is negative externality. What would be the negative externality of construction of roads? While constructing the roads, lots of forests were deforested, trees were cut. It is due to the deforestation, pollution may increases. So, due to the increase in the vehicles on the road, air pollution may increase. So, due to the movement of people or gather of people, pollution may increase. So, these are the negative externalities. One more example I will give you. For example, chemical factory. Chemical fertilizer factory, I will take the example. Chemical fertilizer is very essential for agriculture. So, producing the chemical fertilizer in an industry is a positive externality or positive benefit for the agriculturist. But it also has some negative impact on the economy. Pollutions arising out of production. It may be water pollution, it may be air pollution, it may be noise pollution. That pollutions are said to be the negative externalities. So, whatever the goods produced in the industry or by the firm or any individual involving in the economic activities, there would be both kinds of externalities are there. One is positive externality and other one is negative externalities. Externalities are nothing but it is unintentional consequences of economic action of an individual or a firm. So, there are two kinds, one is positive externality, other one is negative externality. Positive externalities are nothing but advantages arising out of large scale of production is said to be the positive externalities. Disadvantage or demerit arising out of large scale of production is the negative externalities. But we are discussing about the national income accounting, students. Why here we are going to discuss externalities means while calculating the national income, these externalities are not at all included. While calculating the national income, we are going to take only the overall production in the economy, gross domestic product, total goods produced in a industry, but we are not at all considering the externalities. Externalities are excluded while calculating the national income. Thus, why these externalities are excluded means we are using only the GDP as an indicator or barometer of economic development. Not at all we are going to consider this positive and negative externalities or any this depreciation, everything we are not at all considering, because we are deducting that we are adding only the GDP as a welfare of nation. But according to economists, there are some limitations while using the GDP as a welfare of a country. We are calculating through the GDP, we are going to calculate the national income. But according to the economists, this GDP is also having some disadvantages or some limitations. Let us see what are those limitations of GDP while calculating nation's income as a national income. First limitation of using GDP as a welfare of a country is distribution of GDP. GDP means gross domestic product. Gross means total, domestic means internal. Total internal product produced in a country during a accounting year is said to be the gross domestic product. So, while distributing the national income, we do not know whether the income is distributed properly between the haves and have-nots, rich and poor. So, there are wealth is concentrated with the hands of few people, not with all the people in the society or not having the same income, same money. Understood? Thus, this distribution of GDP in a country is not at all in a proper manner. So, this distribution of GDP is vested or this money income is vested with the few individuals or few people in a economy. Thus we can't say through the GDP overall economy is improved or overall economy is welfare economy. Our country is a welfare economy or well developed economy. It is because of well developed in the gross domestic product. It is unable to say with the help of GDP calculation because some remained poor remained as a poor, rich as a rich. Thus distribution of GDP is not at all barometer of economic growth or welfare of a country according to the economist. Second point is non-monetary exchanges. What are those non-monetary exchanges? For example, as I said in the money and banking class, barter system of exchange. Still it is practicing in some interior areas, village areas, because as we know that India is a country with the many villages. So these non-monetary exchanges, goods were exchanged for the goods, not at all considering while calculating the GDP. People sometimes they go for exchanging not through the money but through the goods for goods, rice for wheat, like that we horse for cow we discussed in the barter system. So some non-monetary exchange still in practice, that is not at all considering while calculating the national income or while calculating the GDP. Thus we can't say GDP is a barometer or indicator of economic growth or welfare. Next, third one is externalities. As I said here only, unintentional consequences from the economic action of an individual or firm is a externality. So these externalities, positive and negative externalities, not at all considering while calculating national income. Thus while calculating GDP, we are going to take only the overall gross domestic product. What are the advantages from that product or production, disadvantages from the production, what are the problems behind the production, that we are not at all going to see, so that GDP is not at all barometer of economic growth because it is never considering externalities, positive externality and negative externalities. Thus it is failed to calculate the national income through the externalities or through the GDP. Other values are left out. Next one is leisure and work. For example, while calculating the national income, workers they are exploited in the industry. Many too much working hours are there, or too much leisure is there in the some public sector activities. That leisure and work never considering while calculating GDP. They are going to see the welfare of a country through the money matter, but it is not at all money matter. So leisure and work also included while calculating the net GDP, but this GDP is not at all well measuring the welfare because leisure and work of an individual never going to consider. Next one is manner of production. So here they are going to consider in economy, they are going to consider only the overall production in a country, but never they are going to consider how that product is produced, manner of production, way of producing goods and service, whether they indulge the child labor or whether they indulge the any other workers with the exploitation in the industry, that we don't know. So manner of production not at all considering while calculating or while measuring the welfare of the country. While calculating GDP, we are considering only the value of final goods and services, not at all the value of the human capital, never considering the value of human capital, thus never considering the manner of production. What are the externalities behind the production, never considering that. Thus this GDP is not at all barometer of measuring the welfare of a country. Welfare of country depends upon the well-being of all the people in the economy, or all the people in a society are said to be the welfare of a country, not only through the value of final goods and services, that is through the GDP. Thus there are some few limitations of using GDP as a welfare of country or barometer of measuring welfare of a country. distribution of GDP is not at all proper, or this concentration of wealth with the few people. Wealth means money. Then non-monetary exchanges, barter system of exchange still in practice, they were not at all considering while calculating GDP. Only the money value they are going to considering. Externalities not at all considering. Advantages and disadvantages arising out of large scale of production never considered. And leisure and work of the people never considering. And manner of production still not considering. Thus GDP is not at all barometer of economic welfare according to the economist. So by this we are going to complete the national income accounting chapter. Next class we are going to study about the new chapter, that is about determination of income and employment. Thank you.